Alright, Alex and Gerald, I have a really serious question to ask you.
I don't hesitate. I mean, I'm definitely, I know I'm like, well, I couldn't get a pink slip, but you know what? God gave me a job. He'll give me another one wherever he wants me to be. But I am consistently.
What does Trump have to do with this? Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's my hat. It's my hat.
If you don't like him, fine. You don't like him. You don't think.
You guys put our newsletter in the county, or you? Okay. Well, we can connect you to yours if you like.
Um. Alright, so the four of them are still right there in that corner. Two of them went over there. Ah, and the two are right there on the parking lot. No doubt getting more filming. And we got the two that are just going around posing flower people. So then these two disembark now. The others are over there. They broke off and are peeling to that corner. Right now they're there. Right there. Right now they're bike police. They are stationed at that corner. Meanwhile, they are right there. Gathering surveillance. And you have a mass bunch of people here. So, not the same folks. So that may be 10 to 8 people. Those two are over there. Possibly it could be them as well, so maybe that would count as. Let's see what this is. Jaywalking. Hey, if they jaywalk, I can jaywalk too. Oh, I guess there's some contention. Yes, I forgot to hit. No, this is going to run.
Well, good news for you. Mind those boundaries? I think we're on the same page now. You can have a good rest of your day. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you whining about semantics in the law? Okay, you can
So what are the fucking chuds doing?
Now I'm right. I absolutely will. You too.
They're
good luck.
complaining
Good luck with
about
that.
laws they don't understand.
I don't know. Whatever
Well,
this
what
guy's
law
here for, however you're
specifically,
supporting
though?
him. Good luck.
Has
You're
to
talking
do with
about, wait, you're
airspaces.
talking about the police officer here?
Yes.
He giving you guys trouble?
There's just
anymore, he's
confusion
trying
over
to.
airspace and what things they're allowed to regulate.
Can I ask you to send me that video or photo later?
Well, it depends on if there's even room in this camera for anything.
That's valid as fuck.
There's no memory space like anachronistic.
Yep.
But then again, Antifa are an anachronism, so they can go fuck themselves. Yeah, so they're basically harassing a cop that's taking up the corner. Looks like they're trying to enforce that, and now this crowd has gone even bigger. There's some police over here, and there are these guys over here acting as police and mafia in that area. Not that there isn't space or parking, but that would be a very necessary spot. I actually should be curious to ask them about that. Again, posted traffic, as you would have it, you have the mafia operating. So, quick question: does Bernie Sanders count as the rich then? Because I don't think he'd taste good to eat him.
What's that?
But again, and
what are you saying?
well, if we're
What are you
eating,
saying,
if they're
sir?
going to eat
What are
the
you saying?
rich, should we eat Bernie Sanders? I don't think he tastes good.
No, the rich are eating us.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So.
I was going to say it seems a little bit funny because they're just hassling a cop over there for parking in that space. So
Hassling a cop?
yeah, so that gang over there basically decided to harass
Unmarked.
unlabeled. Yes.
Unmarked vehicle. Absolutely.
Yep.
I will harass every unmarked vehicle that I see.
Well, this
Do
case,
you
a
want-
vehicle over there.
Yeah.
Now, are you
Oh.
with the King County Republicans or?
Today. What do you got? They said there was going to be a free lunch. I didn't get it because that's what they're looking for. They promised a free lunch. Where's my free lunch?
Well, that depends. There's plenty of oxygen, so they aren't stealing any.
That's coming. Where's my free lunch? I made $1 million and I deserve my free lunch.
So these guys been giving you a hassle then? They gave a hassle to a cop over there that was undercover.
Oh, no, not really.
Yeah, because
And
in the
besides-
very corner over there by that church, 4 of them were harassing a cop because he was parked on the sidewalk to guard the area. But I think they're a little more than they would like, so
Oh.
now they're coming on over here, so I'm curious about how that's looking.
We're too friendly. We won't let you touch us.
But otherwise, they do seem to be muzzling in on the cops, so if the cops give you anything about anything, just let them know that
the
someone
cops are
already...
wonderful. The cops are wonderful.
Just making sure, because they seem to be having a run of some of the place, so make sure that nobody claims to have a run on you guys or anything. Especially since they claim that you guys are giving out free lunches, but I think there's still plenty of oxygen left in the air. So I don't think you guys are really stealing the atmosphere out from under them. Although it was
Not at
funny, I
all.
almost mistaken him for a Republican, but you just took the name badge to run with that. Here. Love the oxygen. Plenty of people around. Well, as tradition goes, jaywalk when the authorities jaywalk. I was going to say they were actually harassing the cop over there. There's an
Who was?
those 4 over there. So
Really?
yeah.
See
So
the
the
guy-
guy in the purple shirt over there, well, the purple dot on it, was harassing the cop, saying he didn't know his laws, but over there and allowing verbiage of chud, but basically they're over there claiming they can't park on the sidewalk. So they basically chase cop off. So if any cops or so claim that you guys can't do anything, just point to those 4 over there and say, if they can claim any sort of patch, then we can also say
Okay.
that we're permitted to stand here just as much as they did, because they
Thank you
drew
for
off a
telling
cop.
me that. But we're not
Yeah.
supposed to be in the crosswalk. But you know the guy with the purple hat? He goes to all the rallies. He was at the one I asked you if you were
I can
at.
imagine that's why he
He's a
felt
paid-
like,
he's a paid leader.
oh, really?
I think so, because he has a GoPro and all that stuff. He was at
Yeah.
he was at the No Girls and Boys Sports one.
Yeah, they're basically coordinating. There's at least 8 to 10 of them, maybe 12. they go in groups of 2 and they're coordinating
Yep.
now together.
Yep, they're paid.
Or at least this is about a third of the size, so
Yeah.
they've had at least 12 people, but they're just going around. There was actually someone over there that was union, and a girl too that had green hair,
Yeah.
that were going around possibly looking at cars going
Yep.
that direction.
Yep. Well,
So
the two on the left have been here for an hour and a half, and they've been scoping
yeah,
out.
they've been that's literally what they've been doing
Yep.
too, is on GoPro and so on, talking about making circles
Yep.
and going around.
They're so
But they're-
scary.
But there's actually a couple of people from the original organizing I let them know about that they may have been looking at, because one of them had union on it. So that's to inform them that not only are people that are claiming to be union are pushing off cops off of the sidewalk, but that people that are technically counting with Congress people in the Republican sphere of Washington should not be pushed off by any cops or by cops or what have you.
Okay.
So that I can update to your repertoire in case they or any of the others give you guys hassle
Okay.
that they ran off a cop just now off of the church.
Wow.
Yeah.
But we're not supposed to be in the crosswalk.
No, I don't mean the cross, but I mean in case there's a sidewalk or they decide that they're just going to jolly on over, even if they're like bike cops, you can cite that as reference. So otherwise, he was harassing them in order to get them off of the
He was
church.
harassing the
guy in the GoPro, the
In the
purple.
cops?
Yeah, a cop was over there at the church, so they harassed him off the sidewalk. So if you get any flack from the cops, just let them know that among them, someone representing the union was harassing a cop, and that you guys have more representation so you can tell them to not disturb you guys' peace. So otherwise, they have only 12 people and they still did that, but meanwhile you guys have many more, so there should not be any excuse to push you guys off. Not the sidewalk, but I mean stipulating anywhere around here. So
We have a permit.
yeah, but even more citation to let them know. I'll let the guys in blue know about that as well. Yep. Well, so much for that.
I think that billionaires are taking a lot of the money that you always try to protect. That's billionaires.
Take a sign. You know you want it.
A rich tax wouldn't affect billionaires, just millionaires.
You know that, do you know what the average income in Seattle is? About 100,000 as far as
We can all actually be joyous and live life and afford houses.
But don't you think that's called like providing jobs for people? That's how that money gets spent.
Yeah, and you know, when you have a high tax for millionaires, they're not going to afford their money, what they're going to I mean, equitable. Yeah. Really looking to, like, yes, I promise you don't work as hard as me. But the more you spread love, the more jobs that come out, the more small businesses that will be.
There's no such thing. I promise you.
I'm sorry, I haven't seen small businesses flourishing since the 1960s. That seems like the government.
By most standards of living.
Hey man, I was when I
By
left
most-
my
by
country.
medical, by
When I
education.
left my country, we were in a civil war.
What do you call
So
what
you
we're in here?
don't tell me.
How many people are being killed for protesting?
What do you
here?
call
So
where
what?
we're in
So
here?
where did you? Have you ever gone to a third world country?
What do you call what we're in here?
What we're here?
What would you call what we're in here? It's not a civil war?
No, it's not a civil war.
You don't see the government shooting people in the street?
No.
Okay, well you should probably open your eyes and listen to other people.
Yeah. So what you're seeing on the news.
You should care about people, and it's pathetic
Yeah.
that you don't.
Well, you know what? If they're being engaged, you're engaging with lawful people. Yeah, they're going to defend themselves.
So your position here is that it is acceptable for the government to shoot people in the street.
Without it's not justification.
I'm sorry that you feel that everyone
when you
should
got
just-
criminals attacking Americans, they're going to defend themselves. And it doesn't matter if they have a
I
badge.
hate to say this, but the best thing to do with these guys is just ignore them because they don't listen to anything we say anyways.
No.
They're more threatened by cops on the sidewalk than anything.
Yeah.
No one's paying us. No one pays us for this, I'll tell you that.
No, you guys profit off of it. Money is the only thing you guys care about.
We represent middle class, small business, the average person. There's no millionaire here. No one here is a millionaire, am I right?
Raise your hand if this tax will affect you.
It will affect us.
But it's only millionaires.
We're not stupid. We're not being fooled.
I am going to have to beg to differ there. See, now it is my turn to agree to disagree.
Wait. So,
No. I'm sorry. You're stupid.
No. You're not paying attention.
I don't. I'm sorry.
Larry,
I was going to say, you could ask him if it's the
raise your
union's
hand
ability
if you are a
to push
millionaire.
cops off the side of the road. Yeah, go
Okay,
ahead.
now raise your hand if you think this will affect you. Okay.
I mean, may as well jaunt it out since he's the very guy that pushed the cop off the side of the road anyways.
We, the people, will not be fooled.
You are all You are already fools. You are already fools.
This is a middle class tax, and we're not going to be fooled about it.
I disagree. I think you're already fools.
We, the people, will not be fooled.
I don't care how I come up to you guys.
The people will not be fooled.
Joe Biden is perfectly
Oh yeah, that was those very two over there in the union shirt over there and the hair. They were the ones put over there on people's vehicles. So in case those two specifically would actually be the ones with the union shirt that were over there, possibly with driver's license, well, at least with license plates that they may have been looking at.
We, the people, will not be fooled.
You, the people, are fools. You, the people, are fools. We, the people, will not be fooled. Hey, I'm here with Republican pedophiles. What's your name?
I'm Victoria.
This is Victoria, Republican pedophiles. I'm David Webb. You can find this video online later. David fucking Webb. This affects you. I'm glad you care about what affects you. It's the literal only thing. Is being paid is when there's money for you in it. So why are you here? Is it about how it affects you? So you should care about what affects me. So that's the difference between liberals and conservatives. Conservatives only care about themselves. Dude, you're
Over here in a few minutes. Start rounding up around the stage here.
Chad, Darcy, Quaker.
I'm just going to open the house.
Come on over. Come on over. If I need to turn down the mics, just let us know.
Come on over closer, you guys. We're going to have some fabulous speakers here. So just come on in. You don't have to get on the muddy grass, but we do have to leave the walkway clear. So scoot in. Don't be shy. If it's too loud, we can turn it down, but come on closer. And just make sure, you guys, we got to make sure that walkway is open. Make sure, you guys, we got to make sure the walkway is open. So can I have you, Joanne, can you corral people in here? Jamie, would you, Jamie? Could you go ahead? Thank you. All walkways, yeah, so that people can get behind the Squeeze it, you guys. Squeeze it. This is your group. Don't be afraid of these people. Yeah, this is better. This is better. Okay, is everyone, we got everyone? Corey, you guys, come on over. I have a special announcement today. I'm going to share just a few minutes and then I'm going to introduce our great guests. You guys, I appreciate you all coming here. Because guess what? Today is actually my birthday. Thank you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Victoria. Happy birthday to you. You guys, bless you all. That is so sweet. And I was going to say, I think most of you know me, but if you don't, my name's Victoria Palmer with the King County GOP, and I organized this, but it was with a lot of help. We'll thank people shortly. I just want to say a few words to open, because I personally know the power of people standing together like what we're doing today, you guys. We're just a small group, but we represent something much bigger. We represent those 100,000 people that called in Con. The legislature without a constitutional amendment and without a public vote on this. And barely enough time to organize this. You think if we had enough notice, there'd be thousands of people here, believe me. Yeah. So this is short notice. I thank you all for coming. Just real quick about myself, you guys. I got politically active during the lockdown because it was an abomination on our Constitution. And so I started protesting the mandates. I organized over 300 protests in 3 years, and that included, thank you, we marched over 30 times. It was the March for Freedom Washington, and we still have a website up. It's marchforfreedomwa.com, and I mark it because I documented the fact that the more we showed up, the mandate started to drop. We kept marching until every single mandate dropped, and it worked. So it's the power of showing up and being persistent. Yes. So you better believe we're going to show up again, you guys. Because this is a turning point. I'm going to tell you that they've made a huge mistake. Our Senate, our legislature, they've made a huge mistake by trying to slip this one through. They just gave Republicans our wedge issue. This is a wedge issue in Washington State, and we're going to flip this state. We're going to turn it back on them. Yeah, we're going to turn it back on them. We're going to turn Washington red. And it sounds crazy, but we're in King County and we're doing it right there. So it's going to start from King County, and then it's going to work its way out, you guys. And that's why I want everyone to sign up at our table there to connect with your local party, whatever county you're in. We're going to connect you. So we want your name and email address especially, because you guys, we're going to build our ranks. And we're going to start voting for regular people. We're going to get candidates on the ballot, and we're going to vote for them. And we're going to get these career politicians out of here. Yes! Yeah! Awesome, you guys. Thank you again for coming today. This has been fabulous. I live for this kind of stuff. All right, I'm going to introduce Jolie next, you guys. You guys, Jolie is a good friend of mine. I've known her for a few years now. She is the chair of King County GOP, and she is just bringing some grace and style to the role and just uniting people. And so I'm going to invite her to speak.
Thank you. Happy birthday too. Thank you everybody for being here. This is a powerful opportunity. We are so fortunate to have Victoria in the ranks with us at the King County Republican Party. She put this together, and the one last week that many of you were at as well. So I just thank you for being here. You know, the power of our unity is incredible, and it's something that we're seeing growing in this season, I think, in our region. I think we would all agree with that. We'll have some other speakers up here after me. I'm excited to introduce Representative Jim Walsh. Will be up in a few minutes. Thank you for being here, Jim. Yeah, thank you. And our chair of Thurston County, Corey, will be up shortly. Thank you, Corey. Pierce, yeah, I haven't seen Dave McMullen yet, but yes, Pierce County's here. Hi, wonderful, yay, thank you. So this is a multi-county event where we are gathering together and standing for all of Washington, like Victoria said. Well, I have kind of a different approach. I'm very thankful for today because we have an opportunity to have a lot of clarity about the upcoming candidate season. I'm thankful that Jamie Peterson has been very clear that the oath that she took to uphold the Constitution is not one that she is willing to stand with. Emily Alvarado, who I ran against in 2024, she says the voice of the people don't matter to her as much as continuing forward in an unconstitutional tax. I'm thankful for Menka Dhingra, who says that the oath that she took for the Constitution to uphold it is not as valuable to her as we the people. I'm also thankful for Claudia Kaufman, who says the voice of the people don't matter to her as much as the perhaps grift and bad stewardship of the budget and the money that they're proposing to ask on the people. Javier Valdez, I'm thankful that he's made it clear our voting choices in the upcoming election. I'm thankful for Noel Frame from Seattle for making it very clear at our upcoming elections who we should and should not vote for. I'm thankful for Vandana Slatter, who's made it clear that the voice of the people don't matter as much as this tax. I'm thankful for Claire Wilson from Federal Way, who also values the income tax as opposed to the voice of the people. And Tina Orwell and Rebecca Saldana also saying this tax matters, not the oath that they took to represent the people or the Constitution. So I'm thankful that we have clarity going into the upcoming election cycle, and I'm thankful for the unity that is growing in our region, and I'm thankful for you all being here today. So we'll continue to stand. See, these are the folks that aren't leaving Washington. This is the line, right? These are the folks that aren't leaving. So we're going to continue to stand. We're not impressed. We're not impressed. We're not easily bullied, and we're not going anywhere. So I thank you for being here today. Yeah, thank you. All right. Yeah, all right. Jim Walsh, would you like to come on hot seat in the House? Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Jolie. All right.
Thank you.
Well, welcome to Olympia. This is where liberty comes to fight to survive every day. I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you're activated against the bad tax policies and bad budget policies that the current governor and the state senators that Jolie mentioned and the legislators who support the current governor are forcing through this building onto the people of Washington State. Now, it's been a process. We didn't get here overnight. This has been going on for years. What we've got is a situation where the majority legislators write bad budgets that are constantly short, and then have an excuse to create what they call a budget crisis, which they use then to justify raising taxes on you. It's a kind of con. It's a kind of long-term scheme to constantly get more from you. More in the cost of gas and diesel when you fill your vehicle, more in your utility costs when you pay your electricity bill or your gas bill, more in the cost of groceries when you buy groceries at the grocery store. They're running up the price of everything to support an insatiable appetite for spending your money. And it's come to the point now where they've run out of all the easy things to tax. And they are getting to a place where they've wanted to get for a couple of generations, where they have to create new schemes to fund their budgets and their spending, new schemes that will fundamentally change how our state works. And it's the change that they really want. It's not the dollars. Well, there's lots of fraud. To them, fraud isn't a problem. Fraud is just another way to enable the constant spending. And so, where are we today? We're at a place that right now, in the current legislative session that's still going on, there are two critical financial bills working their way through. And I want you to pay attention to both of them. One of them is the state income tax, and that's the main focus of what we're talking about today. But there's another one as kind of the lead up to that one I don't want you to forget. There's a bill right now working its way through the legislature that allows the state to steal money from one of the state pension plans. We have a system in this state, yeah, boo, you can boo louder. We have a system in this state of about 15 different pensions that are for people who worked either for the state directly or for other agencies like police forces, firefighting stations, other government, local government organizations. And for decades, when other states borrowed money from their pensions or otherwise mismanaged their pensions, Washington has always been pretty good. We never played those budget gimmicks. We didn't steal money from our pensions. And as a result, our pensions for public workers are pretty well funded. And that's about to end with this bill working its way through the legislature right now. What it does is it takes about $4 billion out of the oldest pension for law enforcement officers and firefighters in Washington. That pension plan is known as Left One, Law Enforcement Officers, Firefighters Pension. And that pension has always been very well managed. It's got enough money in it to cover all its retirement obligations to its members. In fact, it's got even a little more money. And it's the more money that this bill would steal out of Left One. And where is it going? Now, if you ask me, if there's surplus money in a pension, it ought to be distributed to the pensioners benefiting from the pension. Now, you could make the argument, okay, maybe we should take the surplus money and put it into another state pension plan that maybe doesn't have as much. I might even go as far as to support that. That's not what's happening with the money they're taking out of Left One. They're putting it in to the black hole, to the main operating budget of the state, where there's very little accountability, except we know this because it's in this bill. They're going to put about $500 million of that money into the Climate Commitment Fund. Now this is a straight up grift. The Climate Commitment Fund, which is funded primarily by that carbon tax on gas and diesel and natural gas, has become one of the most crooked, grifty schemes in Washington state history. Most of that money is not going to anything that makes the air cleaner or the water cleaner. It's going to consultants and to advocacy groups. It's being wasted on politically connected cronies of the left wing here in Washington state. It's a terrible use of money. And what they're finding out is the grift is so bad, they can't pay for it only with the carbon tax on gas and diesel. Now there's going to steal money from a cops and firefighters pension to fund the grift of the green energy scheme. That is awful. Yes, boo louder. Boo so loud they can hear it. So that's the appetizer. That's the warm-up. we get to the real big problem, which of course is Senate Bill 6436. This is the state income tax. Now, the current governor has played a little game. He's played a little game where he wasn't sure he really liked it. He didn't know. Maybe he'd sign it, maybe he won't. This is a joke. The current governor's own staff helped draft the Senate bill. He's been behind it from the beginning. And the little game he's played of, well, maybe I support it, maybe I won't. You know, he plays chess a lot, this current governor. He talks about it, what a great chess player he is. That's, of course, in chess they call that a feint. It's a fake move designed to fool your opponent. He's always supported this state income tax. Now, he started out calling it a millionaire's tax, but you'll notice they're even backing away from calling it a millionaire's tax. Already they're admitting it's going to be a tax on more people than just millionaires. And that's the long con here. They've always wanted to make a state income tax. And, you know, I oppose the state income tax on multiple levels. I oppose it because it enables this ongoing crooked budgeting process where they always under-reserve, they always spend more than they bring in and create the crisis that needs to be fixed. So creating a state income tax enables that, continues that. But more importantly, our state's tradition has been, we are in many ways a progressive state, but we've always been fiscally conservative. And the state income tax is, to my mind, the best measure of fiscal conservatism. The fact we didn't have one, have never had one, is the greatest testimony to our fiscal responsibility. A state income tax is more than just the money that they'll take from you. And the money they'll take from you, by the way, is 9.9% of whatever you earn, on top of whatever else you're paying. But it's more than just the dollars. It's about control. When you put in place an income that's coming up this coming week, and we will do everything we can do to slow it down and stop it. The governor's challenge is this proposal is so bad that even some of the legislators from his own side are hesitant to vote yes on it.
How do we help? Yeah, how do we help?
Contact your legislator. I know some people are cynical about that. They think it doesn't matter. It does matter on the state income tax bill. Well, you got to go in Monday. The offices are closed now, but yes, go in on Monday when they're open again. And the House members, and the House has the bill now, are all up for re-election this November.
We need voter ID.
So even some Democrats are hesitant about this tax. And there is a group of Democrats who put forward an alternate version of the state income tax to the governor's version. And I still wouldn't vote for it, but it's better than the governor's version for this reason. It includes a state constitutional amendment as part of its plan. And again, I don't support that either, but if you were going to do a state income tax, as the governor wants to, you need to amend the state constitution. Because Article 7 of the Washington State Constitution, that's the part that deals with tax policy, says that this kind of tax has to be uniform on all people, applied evenly to all people. It doesn't say there can't be an income tax. It would allow one, but it would have to be flat and even on all people. The governor's scheme is not. It charges 9.9% on some people and nothing or a different rate on other people. So it's not uniform. It violates Article 7. I suspect what the governor is hoping is that when the lawsuits come, and they will come, the state courts will say, okay, this scheme doesn't work because it's not uniform on all people. It's got to be uniform on all people. And the governor will say, well, aw shucks, okay, well then it's got to be uniform on all people. I think it's all a setup for the state Supreme Court to give him the out, to give him the excuse to put the 9.9% income tax on you. So we will do everything we can do in the coming week to slow this thing down. There is a chance that enough of the Democrat legislators will support that alternate version that has the state constitutional amendment in it, that maybe there won't be enough votes for the governor's version. But what we know is going to happen over the next few days in that building is the governor and his minions are going to be putting pressure on all the Democrat members to support the governor's scheme.
Does the constitutional change, does that mean that we all get a say on it then? Or does it still go through by this scheme?
Yes. A constitutional amendment can start with the legislature, and usually does, but then it has to go to a vote of the people before it takes effect.
I'd support that so it dies.
Only with voter ID.
And we're also asking for, as one of our recommended amendments to the governor's scheme, is a referendum, a required referendum, which would be another way. It wouldn't be a constitutional amendment, but it would be another way to accomplish the same thing. It is unlikely that the governor and his minions will accept that amendment, but we'll try. The people must speak one way or the other on this kind of change. Because as I've said, it's more than just the dollars. This state income tax changes the budgetary and political culture of our state, and I think it must go to the people for a vote. I forget what the number. She asked what the bill number of the alternate is. I forget. It was championed by Amy Wallen, W-A-L-E-N. She's a member of the House of Representatives. So I would just look. You can go to ledge.wa.gov, the legislative website, and you can look up bills by sponsor. Look under Wallen, and you'll find that bill there.
Can you talk about the WA GOP initiative?
For voter ID. Yeah. We do have a voter ID initiative that is out gathering signatures basically starting in about a week. We ran a similar initiative last year. We did not get enough signatures on it to qualify it. So we're going to try again. This is the same idea. It is a requirement that when you register to vote, you have to show ID and proof that you're a citizen in Washington State. It does not affect voting. It affects registering to vote. So there have been a lot of questions, well, do I have to show ID when I fill out my ballot? No. The point of control, the checkpoint, is when you register to vote. And it would do many things. It would clean up the voter rolls because it would give every county 2 years to update and check their registered voters to assure that they are, in fact, legal voters and citizens in the state of Washington. So that initiative is similar to the one we ran last year. It's a little more refined, so we think it would meet any kind of court challenge. But that one will be out gathering signatures through the spring and the summer, and we hope to qualify that one this year. Go ahead.
Back to the income tax, if your representative is against it, who can we contact in the committee or the House?
It's a good question. If your representative is already opposed, who do you contact? Well, you can basically contact any Democrat legislator, especially in the House, because remember, it's already passed in the Senate, the state Senate. Any Democratic legislator in the state House, and encourage them to vote no, to oppose or abstain. The reason that this bill hasn't already had a floor vote in the House is the Speaker is not certain that she has enough votes to get it through. And so they're still in that twisting arms phase. So there is time. to contact any state house member and say, please oppose this unconstitutional, illegal, and unpopular bill. It was just a couple of years ago now that the legislature voted on an initiative that qualified to say there would be no state income tax. This is what one of the senators called a pie crust promise. They broke it soon after they made it. So there's a sort of shamelessness in all this. I mean, some of these legislators are lying and bragging about lying. So we need to teach them a lesson that there's a consequence to lying to the people. Go ahead. Yes, so the question is there a way to contact legislators who aren't your legislator representing your district in Olympia here? Yes, there are ways to do that. I think I'm dead. There are ways to do that. Look on social media. I and others will just publish the list of all the legislators' email addresses, and you can send them emails directly to their offices. On the ledge.wa.gov, that's the legislator's internet website, there's also a way to find the contact for every member. It takes a little more effort. You have to go click on each one, but they do have the list of the complete members of each chamber, and you can go one by one and click on them and communicate with them.
I hate to bring this question up because I don't want to give the legislatures the idea, but is there any indication that this is going to have an emergency clause put on it to eliminate referendum?
Good question. Will there be an emergency clause on the state income tax? Interesting question, Steve. Emergency clause on the current version of the bill, but they didn't call it an emergency clause. They called it a necessity clause. What's the difference between an emergency clause and a necessity clause?
Nothing.
Nothing, right. Basically, it says the matter is so urgent that the new policy must take effect immediately upon the governor's signature. Normally in our state laws and politics, when the governor signs a new bill, a bill into law, there's usually a 90-day phasing in period. The law will not take effect for 90 days after the governor signs it. That's to allow for our constitutionally protected right of referendum. That's essentially the people's veto. It operates a little bit like an initiative, but the timeline is shorter and the number of signatures you need to qualify one is lower, so it's easier to do. The emergency clause, which says that the law takes effect immediately, effectively negates the referendum, the people's veto. And there is one of those clauses on this bill, a little bit. So clearly there's not an emergency if the scheme itself is requiring 3 years to take effect. Any other questions? Go ahead.
Walsh did say that's the highest state tax of any state in the country. And I have a feeling that the tax base is going to be leaving this state based more on a 35% estate tax than it is on the on the state income tax. Do you have any thoughts on that?
A lot of thoughts on that. So the question is about the state's estate tax, a different tax than the state income tax, and that you often hear it referred to as the death tax. That's the amount of money that your estate, whatever you have, has to pay after you die in order to leave anything you've got to your heirs, your children, your family. Washington State currently has the highest estate tax, the highest state death tax in the country. That is not going to lead people to leave the state. It is already leading people to leave the state. It's a terrible thing. Now, the only silver lining is the state Senate Democrat caucus leader has acknowledged it's too high, and they have a bill right now that lowers the estate tax pretty much back to where it was a few years ago. That bill is still working its way through the legislature, but that was a big admission on their part that they screwed up with that increase to the death tax. We've got to talk about this Exodus thing too. There's a big debate about whether these bad tax policies will really lead people to leave Washington. And there's a pathetic columnist for the Seattle Times who's several times written columns saying, no, people don't leave. You can raise taxes as high as you want. They'll always stay. And it's sort of like Baghdad Bob, that guy from the news a few years ago. Everything is well. We're still in charge as the buildings are blowing up behind him. It's kind of ridiculous. We are losing, yeah, it was like Jay Ibsen. We're losing taxpayers in this state, multiples a day. We're losing one about every half hour, moving to other states. What you're going to hear a lot about, you're already hearing some about it, you may hear more, is this term re-domiciling, where even if people don't move, they move legally, they move on paper, they buy a condo or a house or rent something, I don't know, down in Phoenix or something and claim they're living in Arizona, and they'll get an Arizona driver's license and they'll set up shop down there and take a picture selfie and put it on the internet and all that. But they don't, they keep their house here, but they just claim they're living in Arizona half the year or slightly more than half the year. And therefore, they get around paying a lot of our taxes, the state income tax, the estate tax, the capital gains tax. And I mean, I hate that people have to do that. I mean, it's kind of shifty. But our bad laws are forcing people to do questionable things. And we know people are moving, businesses are moving. Boeing is moving its operations to South Carolina piece by piece. Starbucks just announced they're moving half their executive offices to Nashville. And even Microsoft, the head guy there, said if the income tax goes into effect, he was going to move some of his operations to British Columbia. When you're losing businesses to Canada, you're really, really screwing up your tax policy. So, loser operation on net for everyone. Any other questions? Go ahead.
I do want to point out something. Thanks for bringing out the pension fund. About the Climate Commitment Act part, the Senate did remove that provision yesterday. So it's not going to go to the Climate Commitment Act account anymore, but it is still a bad bill overall.
Well, and we have to see what happens in concurrence.
Yeah.
So there's nothing is guaranteed on that front. The Senate did make that a little better, but when one of the chambers of the legislature makes an amendment on a bill that started in the other chamber, there has to be what's called a concurrence vote. The first chamber has to agree to the changes. If they don't, they can strip the changes off the bill and put it back where it was. And I wouldn't spike the football yet. I still think that money's going to the Climate Commitment Act. All right, any other questions? Well, this is good. It's turned into kind of a Q&A session. All right, well, anyway, thanks for being out here, everybody.
Let's hear it.
No state income tax. No state income tax. No state income tax. Have a great day.
Let's hear it for Rep. Jim Walsh, you guys. Thank you, Jim. We really appreciate it. Your county and state Republican Party. I want a show of hands. Who is a precinct committee officer, you guys? Who is actually, okay, look around you guys. Precinct committee officers, you guys are the boot soldiers of the party. And we want everyone to sign up over here. You'll get a notice to remind you to sign up in May to become a PCO. We want everyone.